All right. Hey, everyone. How's it going? This is Kelvin. I'm talking to Mutilated Tyrant here in Gallup at Juggernaut. Thanks, guys, for talking to me. Would you mind just kind of introducing you guys yourselves and what your role is and kind of where you're from?
Well, thank you for having us, Kelvin. My name is Rory James. I play drums for the band. I'm from Ganado, Arizona.
My name is Mitch Chaos. I'm the newest member. I play guitar, and I'm born and raised in Flagstaff, Arizona.
Lauren Sosi, play bass, and I'm from Ganado, Arizona.
Yes, Lardell. I play lead guitar, lead vocals, and I'm from Ganado, Arizona, but currently living out in Cameron.
Cool. Thanks, guys, for talking to me. And we're here at Gallup, and you guys are going to be headlining. How did this show come about? Was it something you guys organized, or was there a promoter?
Yeah, well, we played, about a month now? We played here about a month ago. We opened for Necronomicon and a few others. And Ernie, the owner of the Juggernaut, came up to us after we played and suggested that we do a headlining show here. So once we were done with that show, we started working on the details, what bands we wanted to play with, when we wanted to do it. But yeah, this is our first headlining show of the year. In a while, actually. I can't even remember the last time we headlined a show. But we're excited to be here. Gallup's always been good to us. Hoping for a good turnout. And I'm really excited. I'll be playing with two bands. Opening band, Black Mountain, they're from Pinion. And then closing out with Mutilated here.
That's badass. So far, since the live shows have been kind of happening again, how are the live shows been for you guys? How many have you guys been doing since, I guess, 2020?
I'd say we've done about 3-4 shows so far. Right after the pandemic, when everything opened back up, we had quite a few shows lined up, but a lot of personal stuff kept on happening. Stuff would just come up last minute to where
A lot of bad luck.
where we weren't able to make it to wherever we were going to play. For example, it was the last.
Back in, I believe it was February, we were supposed to go out and play down in the valley. But before that, in January, we were supposed to play in the valley, and we all ended up catching COVID. So we were all out for a good 10 days, and once everybody got cleared up, we had another show lined up again down in the valley. But then another unfortunate circumstance happened on Lardell's end, so we weren't able to make it to that one either. And didn't somebody catch COVID again?
I'm not
I don't
too
remember.
sure, but
Did the kids catch COVID right after we did?
yeah,
Or a few
Yeah.
weeks after?
yeah, that's right. But everything was going smooth. Our first show back in the scene was our first show with Mitch, actually, when we played up in Denver, and it was a pretty good turnout. The following month after that, we were supposed to be in California, and then the following month after that, we were supposed to be in Vegas. But stuff just kept on coming up. We never got to make it out to those shows.
Yeah, and we kind of had this inside joke, we come from the net background, we just kept thinking, no, what if somebody's
Somebody gudgied us.
judging us, But we didn't think much about it. It's just a lot of, bad stuff happens, a lot of unfortunate stuff happens, so we just kind of went with it. But we're glad to be back. Since then, I had been busy, getting my other projects back up. I just recently got off tour with a band from Tucson called Suicide Forest. We did a short run for about a week. Did 2 shows in Arizona, 1 in New Mexico, 2 in Colorado, and we finished in Texas. That was really fun.
Yeah, I was following that on social media, and didn't you do a show with Mutilated Tyrant right at the end, or right after that last one?
The last show of the tour in El Paso, the next day I had to do a show in Tempe with Mutilated, So a lot of driving, but it was fun. I was worn out, but we got a lot of support out of that show too.
Awesome. You mentioned that you started doing live shows after the pandemic with the newest member, Mitch. How did you guys get him on board with Mutilated Tyrant?
So it was actually my idea to have him join the band. He seen us live before back in what was it, like 2018?
Yeah. When I joined.
Yeah, it was like a few shows after he joined, actually, when he joined up as our bass, Lawrence. But yeah, like Mitch seen us live once, and he's really been digging our music a lot, especially the Dark Side of the Baphomet demo. That's what really got him hooked onto us. And but yeah, like I talked to Rory over about it. I told him that I think it's about time that we need another guitarist live. So yeah, that's how that rolled out, and it's actually been going pretty good so far.
How's it been in the band for you, Mitch, since you started?
You know, it's actually been really well. After getting to know these guys a bit more, they've just become a bunch of dudes I could joke around with and play with easily. It wasn't really any trouble getting into the band as much as I thought. Transition, thank you. There wasn't so much of a rough transition into the band as I thought it would be. All the songs I was able to pick up fairly quickly, and the ones that I had a little trouble with, I usually got right before a show that we were supposed to do or did. But yeah, it's been a great opportunity. I love playing with these guys. I love playing shows, and I can't wait to play more with them.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, and those first two releases you guys put out, I think I probably listened to those the most. And you guys put out a new single earlier this year. Can you kind of talk about the direction of the band, like the sound and like maybe the overall message of the band?
Yeah, so the latest single release, I personally released myself, and I just ran it through with these guys, asked them what their opinions were, and yeah, like that release is actually like more like in the depressive black metal style, and it was actually quite a process to do that song, because earlier this year I lost one of my close friends back in December. He actually did the artwork for the Dark Sign cover. His name's Tyson Sosi. Yeah, and a couple of months after that, I actually lost my grandmother, who was like really close to. So around that time, I just felt like I needed to do something in just to express what I was feeling around that time. So, but the direction of the band, we plan to go into like the more like atmospheric type black metal. I don't think we're planning on doing anything like the Dark Sign era. We just kind of like talked it over, so like we're just gonna like leave it as that and just keep going.
That's cool. As far as like ideas for new songs or just new ideas in general, like how do you guys like, what's your process for like, jamming or coming up with new material?
It's for the past couple of years, it's been a little bit tough because we're all so spread out. Lawrence and Mitch, they're out in Flagstaff. Lardell's out in Cameron, and I'm still in Ganado. So the writing process, it takes a little bit longer than usual, than it used to back when we were all in one area. Lardell will come up with the riff, he'll send it over to me, I'll listen to the song and start going over my writing process. And at the same time, Lardell, he uses a drum machine to kind of suggest what kind of direction the drum should go. So, especially with the new single, I kind of picked up on that and added in my own little rendition to some parts and everything. So, and then same thing with getting together live to practice. These guys will either come out to Ganado. Before we played a show in Flagstaff a couple months ago, I was able to go out to Cameron. We jammed out in Cameron, and then we went to go play the show in Flagstaff. And that's just been how it's been going for the past couple of years. Just kind of a lot of back and forth, and
Yeah, most of the time our schedules don't really line up, so we usually like just get our practice in the day of the show, or sometimes we don't even have time to put practice in.
yeah, like for when I got back from tour, we didn't practice at all. So we were really rusty. We could tell on our end, but we still got a lot of good feedback from everybody in attendance. So I guess that went pretty well.
Yeah.
I have a question for Lawrence. I know you played in another project, God's Reigns. Like, how do you separate your ideas between this band and your other band?
Well, it's more like a death, but it's similar to BNT, but it's way different. It's like more brutal, like really hard, like how just those death metal bands or death metal bands like Necronomicon and Hate mention like it's like Behemoth, sort of like really hard. And yeah, I'm the lead vocals, lead guitarist, and the founder.
We actually have
Yeah.
another project together. It's a death metal project called Atavistic, and we're actually playing in Flagstaff tomorrow night.
After how many years?
Shoot, our last show as Atavistic was probably like 3 years ago. Yeah, so it's been a while. Our drummer lives down in Tempe, so it's kind of hard to put practice in.
And we have a new guitarist for that band as well. His name is Dominic.
Yeah, he's actually from here, from Gallup.
And then I wanted to ask about that. You guys announced on your social media that you guys got announced to a festival in Norway. Like, how did that come about?
That was all thanks to our friends from Norway, NRK TV, Thomas, Jorn. They came out back in what, 2018? 19? I think it was
No,
18.
2019.
It was 2019?
It was before the COVID shutdown.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they came out in 2019, and they did a little interview for Thomas's documentary, and it was a little similar to the Revolver doc, but we kind of went more in depth of what it was like to actually live on the reservation, and they actually showed one of our songs off of our demo, and they were also so kind enough to put a little bit of all the footage they got live and made a music video for us. So we have an official music video thanks to them, and they really liked what they heard. And Thomas is in contact with the one of the promoters for Inferno Fest, so he threw our name out there. The promoter really liked what he heard, and we were initially supposed to be on for 2022 this
Yeah.
year, but again, pandemic shut that down. So it's official. We are on for next year. We can't be any more stoked. I mean, personally, it still hasn't hit me yet, but
Yeah.
it will eventually.
Until we
you know.
get there, it'll hit us.
But it's just crazy, and we wouldn't be on that festival if it weren't for, you know, our longtime supporters, our, you know, again, our past members, what they've helped create, and of course, wouldn't be for Thomas.
Just making some res kids' dreams a reality.
Exactly.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, as a fan, that was really cool to see, just to see the recognition. And yeah, I think just kind of I kind of got like a little prideful. I'm sure all your fans probably were excited to see that, and just to see
Yeah.
all you guys' hard work get recognized like that. And
I sure hope so.
yeah, and yeah, just to play in Norway too, basically the birth of like black metal. So that's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
I like to see it as like a big inspiration for other local res metal bands, or like people that are planning to start up a band. You know.
Yeah, a lot of these bands here have a lot of potential, they really do, and it's just I'm thankful and honored to be, you know, a part of the local metal scene, local res metal scene, share the stage with a lot of these res metal bands. I mean, there's a lot of talent that people don't know about.
Yeah, and we just hope like the shows, you know, just gotta keep doing it until you get the recognition that you deserve. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks. And then I'm getting close to like done, but any other? You mentioned the show tomorrow night with your other band, Atavistic, but are there any other upcoming shows you guys got going on?
So we do got a fundraiser show coming up August 12th with for Mutilated Tyrant. Everything's gonna go towards like new merch and travel expenses. We're just like getting ready to go to Norway.
Where's the show at?
It's actually gonna be out in Cameron. It's like in a like rural area. It's like it's out in the boonies, out in the desert. So you know.
Somewhere far and remote where we can get as loud as we want. No one gives a shit.
Exactly. But yeah, there's gonna be 13 bands playing, so it's gonna be like an all-day thing. We just got this small beverage company from the valley called Cups of Enchantment. They asked us if they could like set up at the venue, so yeah, we're just kind of like, you know, we want it to be like a good size event for everyone to enjoy.
That's awesome. Sounds like a festival, like a res metal festival. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty much.
So if you're in the area, you better be there.
And then any upcoming projects, or I know you guys put out a song this year, but any releases coming out from you guys or your other projects?
It's a lengthy process, again, with all of us being separated and everything. Like for the last EP we did, Lardell and I were able to go down to Tucson and record at the Suicide Forest HQ, and they were able to help us record and master and everything. So the plan is to do that again, just when our schedules are free and when we're all able to. And once we got like all the new material, new/old, we want to put out a lot of old material back out too. So once we get all that down, the plan is to go back down to Tucson, get recorded again, and hopefully we'll get a full length out by then.
Yeah.
So we just ask everybody, be patient.
Well, sounds good. And then what's the best way for people to support the band, like as far as like you know, merch, or you know, like helping out the band for your like upcoming projects?
Well, right now we do have a Bandcamp page. We haven't been able to update our merch stock on there. Right now we are currently backed up on orders from like back before the COVID shutdown. It sucks, but you know, a lot of stuff just keeps coming up. We haven't had time to send out. We have like everything packaged and ready to go. It's just we haven't had time to, you know, get around to sending those. And plus, shipping's it costs us a shitload because most of the packages we have right now are actually going out overseas. So yeah, it's going to be pretty pricey, but you know, we haven't forgotten about those.
Again, all we ask is be patient.
Yeah.
But yeah, our Bandcamp is what we're mainly using for like everything digitally. We're on all the streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. I'm thinking we might get a GoFundMe page going soon, especially for like the Norway trip.
That's a good idea.
Get
Yeah.
Arizona boys to Norway.
But yeah, like everything. I mean, one of the main ways to support is just coming out to our shows, and yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you guys for your time, and yeah, hope to check you guys out tonight, and yeah, just thanks again.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for
Yeah, thank
having
you.
us.